Greetings, greetings, greetings. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the welcome to the experience, man. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to say experience because I remember Wendy Williams just to say that. We don't copy, but it is an experience, man. It's a humbling experience in most. It's very humbling. Um, it's very humbling, and I'm sorry. Sometimes I'll be doing my little online shop. It's Screen for Mac Pro. So salute to everybody. I hope you're well. It's a Sunday morning and I'm moving around, so the audio might sound a little different. The audio might sound a little different, but bro is moving around and we doing what we got to do. And you know, this is a topic that really I have to catch it when it's fresh for people to really understand what's really going on out here. You know what I mean? It's something that can't be ignored. I think it's important to really, 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 really bring it out. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us are not understanding this, and this basically is for you to learn how to read the situation other than knocking it. Seriously. Like sometimes it's best to read things than to knock it. Uh, Sometimes it's better to read things than to knock it. Wow, that's heavy, right? Sometimes it's better to read things than to knock it. Um, Shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate everybody showing the love, man, and dedication. Shout out to Don't Panic. Shout out to Don't Panic. Shout out to I got my I love when I got my members here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Don't Panic. Shout out to Shimmy Yar. Uh, it is a super pleasure, man. And, shout out to this game. What's going on, baby? Yes, I'm having a pretty good weekend, man. I think it's very nourishing. You know, to say the least, a very nourishing weekend. This weekend, I had to take note as if I'm in church. It is very important that when you go into church, if you do go to church, to take notes. I know people may think you're playing with your phone. It's probably better to have an iPad so it doesn't look so disrespectful. Um, I think it's good to have an iPad in church, definitely. You know what I mean? I don't think it's good to hold a phone. I think it's a little disrespectful. Um, but there's ways also. I mean, if you're close enough to the pastor, you could actually just put it on voice control and just video it. But it's good to take the notes, and I think that with me, I did that a lot yesterday. And you have to understand what people are when you're going through things yourself. You can identify with people easily if you just come through the common mindset to know that you've been there. That some people say you can't speak for a woman. Yes, you can. Absolutely, you definitely can. You know what I mean? When you see the world in this bad shape, um, let me get straight to it, man. I have a dude that I know, man. He's within our circle of friends. He's an influencer. And he speaks for the common mind. And that's important. That's important when you have that, man. Sometimes we all have friends and family that you could go to their Instagrams or their Facebooks and you could learn a lot about them in the sea. As I'm just talking to you right now, so I'm looking at this video with Donnell Rollins. Donnell Rollins is a friend of, throughout my out of being in Brooklyn, and it's a friend of the borough. He's just not funny. I don't know how certain comedians get to where they're at and they're just not funny. I find more humor in people that I may know through their social medias platforms, and I could just see that they're making an ass of themselves. That's more funny to me, and it ain't funny because I'm seeing them spiraling. It's funny to me because I'm like, damn. Even when people try to hide it, they make it worse. Um, so let me give you an update real quick. The reason why you see LL Cool J in this the picture here. LL Cool J is an example of pain. LL Cool J is suffering. LL Cool J does not want to get old. He's having a hard time being old. And now he's doing the Benzino steroids. It's just, yo, man. When you see mankind come from you come from a time where somebody was an impresario to you. That is a big deal where somebody has an impact on you to the point where once upon a time, LL Cool J was one of my peoples I looked up to, and you got to think about it. Like, if you could look at a person and say, wow, I remember looking up to this dude. So if you look up to a cat like LL Cool J, right, and they made, they were somebody that you looked up to, shout out to Gil. And now you get to the point where you see LL Cool J, and you're like, damn, this nigga's a straight clown. And if you still following him, then you don't know. You know what I mean? Rather than like something ain't right. You know what I mean? There was a time when you looked up to this cat. So his impressive ability was in his younger years. He had a long run. But I think more recently, something changed with him now because he realized that being Hollywood and taking away from your motive of fly is painful. Like, listen, if you're on the level and you get that rich on some LL Cool J mode, stay your ass in New York City. Even if you got to live in Long Island, there's multiple multi-million-dollar properties out there in Long Island, which is being that I said Long Island because he's from Queens, you understand? But you got to understand, man, when you are a monument in hip hop, your location has a lot to do with your presentation today. And that just goes across the board with anybody. You know what I mean? I'll give an example. If you are in a position in life and you could live wherever you want to live and you move down south, you know what I mean? And you come from New York City, you're not going to be taking fashion as serious, or should you, because you live in the South. Especially if your environment doesn't even call for that. Like, what's the point of putting all this extra work into the way you look? Shout out to Lonnie. But shout out to Lonnie. Shout out to good morning to Lonnie. Good morning to Gail. Good morning to Shimmy. Good morning to Don't Panic. So what I've been noticing, knowing that LL Cool J was a dude I used to look up to at one point in my life, I seen this, there's a motive to something being natural. And I seen his photos today, and I'm like, yo, fam, like, what are you doing? Like, you think niggas is that dumb that we're gonna just know that I didn't know just shredded as big as you are, you just shred like that out of nowhere, bro. Like somebody's hating. See that's another cop out. Like, don't just call somebody a hater. You can't just call somebody a hater just because they expressing their opinion. Like, especially when it's valid. That's why people don't like to talk to some people. Like, I seen this thing with Tamar Braxton, and there was a little clip when she was like on Instagram. She's like, yeah, telling her sister, like, yeah, I know you don't got no money because I was the one to put the down payment on your house. That's why people don't like niggas that help them. Because you only do things for people. You only do things to do for people so you could throw it in their face. You don't really care, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, broke bitch had to have me help her do their down payment. There's no flex in that when people say that to me. Because I'm like, why do you feel that you got to let people know that? If somebody screwed you over, just tell the truth. Say, yo, how could you treat me like that? Sometimes it's best just to say to a person, how could you treat me like that? You know what I mean? So this situation you see with LL, I'm like, what people don't understand about steroid use. Steroid is the same mask or equivalent to a woman that does plastic surgery or have a BBL. It's not normal. Forget natural. It's not normal. I think what black men have to understand, staying in shape just means to be healthy. If your numbers are good and you went to you got your blood work and your doctor sees that everything is working fine and just maintain it so you don't go out of whack, that's a healthy man. If you want to look healthy, make sure you look good in your clothes. See, unlike Method Man, and I'm not saying Method Man is not on roids either because he doesn't have the body style of steroids. I'm not going to say he is or he's not, but his impression on what Method Man looks like, it's natural. Why? Because Method Man was skinny all his life. So now he's adding on. This guy spoke to me more. Yeah, this is another example of why people are losers. I'll get to that. So you look at a situation and say, what would make you take your shirt off? Just 2 months ago, you wasn't looking like that. And even when you was, your face, you did a lot of work to your face. You had that, what's that thing that you pull back? What's the thing that you pull back on the face? Botox. You had that back in the days. Yeah, early 2000, LL was an impresario. He was a legend. He started getting brothers. He was the dude that broke the 30s. He was that guy. He's no longer the guy in his 50s that did that. Method Man is that guy. Method Man is the dude where age is just a number. He's a clear example of that because Method Man's physical impression shows a man that maintains. Shout out to Kimberly. Good morning, you daughter. Good morning. God bless you. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Darling, you walked up into a perfect class because I got so much to share this morning. Thank you, baby. I love you. Thank you. Shout out to Kimberly, man. Thank you, my love. Oh, man. I don't think I could have been a pastor because I curse, right? But you're gonna get yours today. And shout out to Kimberly. I can tell. I remember there was a time. I forgot it was an interview, and I remember, or was it on stage? I think it was on stage. I remember. I know Method Man. LL has to feel a way to know that Method Man now is the image of the 50-plus-year-old man. He did what LL did in his 30s, which is great. Like every 10 years, there should be somebody, or should it be we should have a man that represents an age factor so we have something to look forward to going to. And I'm not just using Method Man as one example, but I'm going to use it as the example of LL could have been that guy. But let me just explain to you about steroid use. If you ever look at Benzino, Benzino looks like somebody took an old man's face and put it on a 21-year-old's or 16-year-old's body. That's steroids. It's not natural because Benzino's face doesn't add on to his body. Um, he was never that type of guy. He was never active like that. And we're not just saying because he has such a bad face, but a saggy face. See, when you're in shape as a man, especially a black man, your face is going to go. See, look, Stubber says, "Hey, Nate, LL don't look good, fam." Yeah, I agree. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So the thing is with LL Cool J, LL Cool J is spiraling. He knows he's not the man he was in the teens. He knows he's not the man that he was in his 30s, which he was, because he created early 2002, Love You Better. He was the man. We didn't know a 30-year-old could look like that. Now we look in hindsight, that's what it's supposed to look like, right? LL Cool J now has this big water jug head on this body. He said Method Man been prepared to marry to the black woman. Method Man been married to that black woman. That don't got nothing to do with nothing on Cyber Dream. That's not what we trying to say. Let me finish. I know Method Man's wife personally. That got nothing to do with nothing. LL Cool J has been married to his wife longer than Method Man. That's not even what we're getting to. So let me just finish what I'm doing, please. It's not. We're not. We're trying to address the title here. So let me just do what I do, Cyber Dreams, please. Okay, thank you. So got nothing to do that he's married to whoever. That's not what we're here for. We're talking about an image, an image, an image, an image, an image, an image. It's worrisome to me because it's all good, Cyber Dream. If it's about us as men, as we get older, to stay in shape and be in the gym like Method Man, or take the shortcut like LL Cool J and just go D-ball route and do steroids. Either or is not the answer. That's because in a lot of times we don't know what supplements Method Man is using. The problem with the weight situation, if you stop doing that shit, it shows immediately. When you're doing things like calisthenics, yes, that lasts forever. But at the end of the day, it's not because you work out and go to the gym. It's exercise. It's you walking. It's you maintaining a diet. Knowing on the weekends you eat some garbage, through the week you eat healthy. Knowing that your numbers at doctors are telling you you're in good health. That's healthy. But you can't be in a position and think just because you look at this meatball called LL Cool J that has turned into a complete clown, and he actually told somebody, hold this camera up and take this picture, and then went and posted it. That's when you know niggas is going through a lot. Yeah, exactly. The lymphatic is full of fluid. What happened to the? Let me tell you something. When a person is in good shape, when you lose weight, it shows in the face. If you have an unhealthy weight loss, and I mean you're sick, you're gonna tell in a person's face. If you cover LL's body from the neck up, how in the fuck does he got this face of a 60-year-old man that's probably just living a regular life to from the neck to the waist, he's in shape as if he's doing competitions. That shit is crazy. That doesn't go together. The Rock right now, no, he had to take, I don't care what he tells you. The Rock right now, he been doing that shit for years, and I'm pretty sure The Rock probably had a couple of heart attacks at this point. Oh, he wants to bring the weight down. No, he had to stop that steroid use. We can't use that as the image. Whether we can't use it as the image as Kris Jenner of the way to get older is to get plastic surgery. That shit is corny. But despite all that, he's in pain. Nigga, you got your hat on with shades on. You got to think of the layout now of what's going on in this world to the point where we got these deadly camera phones and people who don't know what to do with themselves. It's a Sunday morning. I don't think there's an individual, unless you're going out to buy a car or anything like that, you got to take care of a couple areas. But it's Sunday. This is a day that you're supposed to stay home, get your mind together. Unless you're out at church, take it easy. This is not a day where you should ever call a service that you need something done? I'm in a service industry, obviously, as you know. Nobody should be calling me on a Sunday to ask pricing of getting something done. It is a Sunday. You understand? You got to think on the lines. It is a Sunday. So if it's a Sunday and you have nothing to do, you got to understand that it shows, whether it's social media with LL Cool J, whether it's people that's out and about, whether you don't know what you're going to do with your boring life because there's nothing to do. I was at a party yesterday, and my boy had his party in Jersey. So yeah, like being at his birthday party. His birthday is like the same day of Halloween, but as y'all know, Halloween is going to be on a Friday. November 1st is going to be on a Saturday. So anyway, he celebrated his birthday yesterday. And instead of them doing it in a hall, which he did before, which I thought was pretty cool, I really feel that when you do a masquerade party, you should rent out a space. And he rented out this space yesterday. I mean, excuse me, he rented out the space 2 years ago, but this time they do it in his house. He got a new house and he's doing it. I don't really think a layout for a masquerade party or a costume party for adults is good for a house at all. Personally, unless your house is set up to be scary, and I mean inside, like you got that shit haunted and you all decked out, that's a whole different level. But if you're gonna do a masquerade party, I think you should do it in a hall or something like that. So he did it in his house, save money, and anyhow, we get to the party and it was pretty cool or whatever. Um, Music is very important when you have a party. You have to have a DJ. Hire a DJ. Hire a system where the speakers are going to hit hard. All of the above. Um, I think what happened when I went to this particular event, I noticed a difference, and I felt that like there was a girl that was giving drinks out, and she walking around with drinks. When you're giving drinks out at a party and they're fruity, make sure them shits are strong. Because if people don't get into the mood within a couple of hours, they're gonna go home. Because people go out to a party not just to support you, but people are in pain. People want to enjoy. People want to have a good time. People want to let all this out. When we went there was a girl that was giving the drinks out, and I'm drinking. I'm like, damn, no buzz. I'm drinking. I'm like, damn, no buzz, no buzz, just no buzz at all. They have those things that you do. What's the things called? Like the shots, the little you give the shots, and they look like little syringes and the little jelly shots. Nothing, nothing. And um, so fast forward, the food was being served. You know what I mean? The food was good. Um, we sat down and we just couldn't get a spark. Now there's kids in there. People have to understand, if you're gonna have children at a masquerade party, you rent a hall. You can't do it in a home environment because nobody wants to be no. Now you're in a home environment. You got kids. Kids want to go in a room. Kids want to play. Kids are walking around in socks. Now it becomes a thing where adults and kids are around each other. These are things you got to be careful of. Environment is key when people want to get it off. Let me keep it a stack. We're adults. We want to go out. We want to have a good time, and we want to feel good. So if there's no DJ cranking my soul, if there's no speakers cranking my soul, if the drinks ain't giving me a buzz, if nobody around me is getting a buzz, other than people that smoke their weed and now they may get on their little lazy buzz, you got to remember you're going to lose the crowd. It's like anything else. It's like a DJ that can't seem to bring the people to dance. And the more and more he's trying, the more and more he's losing it because he's just not bringing the crowd in there. So what I noticed was throughout the night, nobody's getting up and dancing. People now are just sitting down in their costumes, and it just went kind of flatline. So my boy got a bar in the backyard or whatever, and I said, let me see who's making these drinks. And the person that was making them, they said, oh, he's doing shots. So now, again, I'm not a drinker, but, for the occasion, I do what I do. So the guy's making the shots, and I'm like, damn, these shots ain't even cranking at all, like nothing. And I'm like, they just making sweet shit. You know, sometimes you got sweet stuff that, you know, is hides, and I'm like, nah, this shit ain't doing nothing. I know it's not because I'm not feeling shit. So I said, well, maybe if the guy got a bartender there, maybe the people, you know, you don't want people making their own drinks because that's how people be taking all your alcohol. So now there's kids running around. Um, and now it ends up happening now. You look at the woman, pay attention to the woman. They start losing the mood and now they want to leave and go home. And people want to go home. And it was an early event, but needless to say, nobody got their pain medication, if you know what I mean. Like boredom, sadness, unhappiness, stress, depression, all of these different things show. We do a lot of that through Amazon. A lot of people, we purchase shit. We go out and shop because we in pain, we're bored, we're going through things. But what I noticed last night, um, my man's wife was like, yo, I'm not doing any more parties. I said, why not? She said, because she spent all this money and half of the people showed up. Now, I didn't know half of the people showed up because a crowd is a crowd, right? So I'm like, well, whoever's here is supposed to be here. She's like, yeah, but you know the amount of money we spent on alcohol alone, because you know they ain't try to go crazy, but they spent like $600 on alcohol. That's a lot of money when you got bills and kids and shit like that. Um, to me, I could have said, well, shit, $1,000 probably would have been, but it's only bad when the people are not enjoying themselves. And I feel like, you know, you got to take heed, man, and have a bartender that knows how to get people fucked up for real, like seriously. Because if that bartender's not pulling that shit in, you're gonna lose the crowd. Um, People are leaving. Nobody's blasted. Nobody's walking around. But even my man's wife, because she gets it in, and she wasn't even fucked up. So we had these party favorites. You try to do what you got to do. You got to try to do. So even when I watch people say, well, the ones that didn't come here, are they ahead of the game? You know what I'm saying? So to some degree, the people that didn't show up, did they miss anything? And that's another thing you got to ask yourself. In this midst of knowing that parties and situations are dying, where do y'all see yourselves? And what's the purpose of a party? What's the purpose of a party if you're not having a good time? And again, what is to have a good time? You know, if you're not going to a party and you got good drinks, good food, and you're enjoying stuff, you're gonna go to a party, you don't drink, you don't eat sweets, you don't eat carbs, and the music is not loud. I mean, come on now, like what's the point? Like it's kind of like both, you know, a double-edged sword. So now it ends up happening, it's a Sunday, so this is Saturday. Now people feel like, well, what was the point of doing what you do? People now are losing the motive even trying to keep people together because people are hurting so bad they don't know what to do with themselves. Um, this is why election is very bad for people when you're hurting, because when you're hurting, you don't realize it, but you're looking for a change, any change. I don't give a fuck if that's the president, a politician, a mayor, a council person, um, celebrity sleuth, celebrity drama, Facebook shit. Like you're gonna drown in anything because you're desperate. That's why all this shit matters that people talk about. That's why it matters when, for example, when Cyber Dreams came here was like, you know, appreciate Jeezy now showing off the baldy, and it's like, no, we're not appreciating Jeezy showing off a fucking baldy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of worthless shit is that? Like, why do we have to appreciate Jeezy showing off the baldy? Why? Because he had a cone head all them years and he had a hat covering it? Or that we are that pathetic now that we're talking about young Jeezy's baldy? Now it becomes a thing where what Nick you're saying about LL. LL's different because LL's the coon that we're talking about. If Cyber Dreams brings up we could appreciate showing off the baldy of Jeezy, that means we're pathetic. That's pathetic. It's not, you know what I mean? We gotta think on the lines now. If we got celebrities that we look up to as impressions in our lives and they're not giving us good impressions, how do we go to another celebrity and say that we're gonna appreciate the fact that Jeezy's showing off his baldy? Like shit is crazy. Like are we that bad? So I got a question for y'all, and I really want to challenge y'all with all this I'm saying. What do you do to enjoy your life? What do you do for fun? You know, I met this girl yesterday at my man's. Well, I didn't really meet her because it's my man's sister-in-law, but I met her for the first time, and I'm talking to her. But you know, we just have a conversation. I mean, if I was gonna do anything with her, and I wasn't, you know, in my position in my life, and I wouldn't even have fucked with it because that's my man's sister-in-law. So I don't want to. My friendship with my man is too far worth it to even take a chance with that. But anyway, we chilling. You know how people watching us because me and his sister-in-law's talking, and we get into a conversation, and she shows me her kids. One of her kids was there. One of her kids was 7. She said she got a 15-year-old, so she showed me a picture of her son. 15-year-old, this nigga like a grown ass man. Like, and I don't think what women understand is that. Let's just take the example of what is the only thing that a woman could deliver to a man if he's talking to you that you could actually stand up and be confident of if you're having a conversation, either a good conversation or the nigga wants to have sex with me. That's just put that in your head because that's what it is. So what happened was we were talking and she showed me her son and she's telling me a lot that's going on with her life as far as, you know, the kid's father and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, it could be a little draining. But with me, I don't understand what women got to understand is this, man. Like, when you dealing with a guy, when you're talking to a man and the only thing on a man's mind is either A, you got to pull me in to a good conversation. Well, I don't even want to have sex with you no more because if there's no conversation, then it's all sexual. So once you show your children, it's not necessarily a turn off, but if you want to turn a guy off, just show him your kids. Because I'm going to tell you something. Then you know if he's really about you. You know what I mean? As we're talking, again, there's no buzz in the air. So nothing's clicking. She got a daughter. Her daughter's young, so her daughter's coming back and forth to mommy. Mommy got to go, you know, tell her, oh, don't do this, don't do that. People don't understand. That's why people have adult parties and leave the kids home, so you don't have no distraction. Because now when you're doing all that, you can't really enjoy an adult. Remember, you know, adults now took over Halloween. You know, kids don't do Halloween like adults. So we're sitting there, we're talking, and I'm just like, yo. So I said, so what do you do? In the dating world, what can a man do in regards to something to the effect of like, what do you do on like a Saturday? And she said, just look for good places to eat and basically look for good places to eat. I said to myself, like, okay, well, what kind of places? Because, you know, is she talking about cheap food places that you could get a lot for your money, which would be kind of fun to do, right? Or she just talking about, you know, expensive restaurants that she likes to eat at. So she's telling me about like she was a kind of a vegan before, not like the green vegan, but like she don't eat beef, pork. I'm like, all right, well, that's gonna eliminate me because I eat beef and pork. And then she's saying how she just eats fish because she was having these problems with her iron and this, that, and the third. So I'm doing this experiment as if I'm really like, if there was any interest in this woman, how could I hook it? So she didn't give me no good restaurant because you should be able to come to people that know nice hot spots to eat at a bargain. That's fun to do. People like stuff like that because people could be free. It's a little hole in the wall. It's a nice spot because that's what Instagram is there for. Instagram. One thing I like about Instagram on that, they always show you hot places to eat, fun places to eat for a fraction of the cost. So she tells me that you know, this one spot up or whatever up in Yonkers. I'm like, all right, so I'm not going there. You know what I mean? Like, who the hell's gonna do all that? You know, at least that's how I'm thinking. So this is to a conversation about her man, her kids' fathers, two of her baby's fathers. One's in jail. None of them, one's in feds. The guy she went through abuse. It's just a lot of shit. I said to myself, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I could not imagine being a single man in this era. And this woman was Puerto Rican. So all you black brothers, I know you want to make the Puerto Rican kids to be your kids. You don't got a problem with a single mother when you deal with a Puerto Rican. But I'm not going to say it was a turn off because it was supposed to turn me on, but there was nothing there. Nothing. Because if it's all sexual, how does a man get into a conversation and get straight to that and nobody's drunk at a party? You know what I mean? Like, we can't have that discussion or even that potential if there's no vibe. Because now we're just talking about life and it's getting more drowning because she's hurting. And like, all right, so now we talk about your job. Oh, she's a paralegal, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what kind of paralegal? Because it ain't no fun shit talking about regular slip and fall. Like, if she's a paralegal for a lawyer for criminal, maybe there's some shit to talk about. Slip and fall, conversations just wearing off, and it was just dead. And you know what's so wild? I really was like, yo, honestly, man, this is why a lot of people stay home because people don't know what the fuck to do. What do y'all do as people, man? What do we do if you're looking for places to eat? If somebody hangs out with you as a woman and you live wherever you live, you should have 5 cool spots to eat at that are cost effective, straight up. That's what's fun to a man. Man likes shit like that because if a man is gonna go meet you at a restaurant and he's spending bread, his mentality now is all pussy, pussy, pussy. But if you show him a spot that is affordable and fun and effective, he could have a good time with you. Number one, he's paying the dinner and ain't costing shit. He expects less, and now you can take him to the zone and actually have a good time because the drinks are cheap there. You understand? I think it's important for people, especially women, if you're single, to take heed of that. Start learning. If you're going to have a guy that's going to take you out or bug out or you're going to do whatever, make sure you have fun places to eat that are affordable. Very important. A lot of y'all don't have that because when people go out, especially a man, there's only 2 things that a man wants to do. And if he's going to get inspired to have sex with you and that's not going to happen, at least give a good time. Once them 2 things are not being met, this is where we drown in the work. This is where we drown in depression, anxiety, because we're living in a society now that there's so much happening, but there ain't shit happening. There's nothing fucking happening out here. Shout out to Miss Top. And it's painful for me to see that because as I see things being presented, I could see what a person doesn't have a life. I had a guy at the furniture store hit me yesterday at fucking 8 o'clock on a Saturday to attempt to ask me if I spoke to this customer. I'm like, yo, my man, it is a Saturday. If it wasn't for me having the lifeline open, because I do have customers that do call and I don't want to totally delete it, I wouldn't even have my phone on the weekend on. I would turn that shit off. How dare you call somebody on a Saturday night? I know that you don't have nothing to do. I know there's nothing happening in your life. How do you call a person on a Saturday night or evening where he could be with his family, he could be with some chocha, he could be with his wife, he could be with his children, he could be relaxing, he could be at a club, and you're calling a person about work, my brother? That's why they have business hours. Monday through Friday between 9 to 5. Those are appropriate hours to call people about business. This is not an emergency. So what I did, I responded to him at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. Like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, whatever you gave me a customer, that's cool, but that's just taken care of, my brother. Like, through the week, we'll handle that shit. Like, I had to hit him with that through a text. Again, they don't have shit to do. People are not living life. They just survive it. That's all y'all doing. Y'all barely doing that. Because what's the point of living all to survive. When you got food on the table, hopefully you got that. You got a nice house. But how is it nice and you can't even have company can't leave with a vibe? What is the point of having a big house and you don't have people over and people conjugating and people kicking it? You know what I mean? There's nothing happening out here. It's dead. And for me, as a critic to that, this is why I do things by myself. Like, if my wife and daughter's not with me, I'm by myself because I know how to have a good time myself. I don't care where I go. Not because I'm the life of the party. It's that I know what's needed. When you have a healing or a mode of peace and quiet, you're supposed to embrace serenity. But when there's a mode of me wanting to be excited and have a good old time, I can't count on a party because that's a hit or miss. I went to a party last week. That shit was crazy. But that was once in a lifetime event. It was somebody's 60-year-old birthday. That shit ain't gonna happen, every year. But this particular party I was at yesterday it was a birthday. It wasn't a milestone, but we're wearing costumes. He got all these things in the front of the house. We got all these favorites, and the key ingredient to an adult party is vibes. You gotta have that. I want to say it in order. You gotta have the alcohol, the music, and the food on deck. Very important. I don't care if you don't drink, just as long as the people around you are catching that vibe. It's imperative because if there's one person in there that could kind of give a mode of good times and feelings, that feeling is transferable. You can have a person that's nice off of some whatever, and they can give you energy and transfer it into your body. And that shit could create a great environment. We ain't telling you again to go drink and drive. And I'm just saying to you, these are the key elements of you got a bartender or you got a bartender that gets busy. You got a DJ or you're going to play your music with a Bluetooth through a phone. No. You can't play your shit through a Bluetooth through a damn phone. You can't. That's not the way you do a party. You can't do that. You know what I mean? I've learned that. Believe me when I tell you, you gotta have a DJ. You gotta have somebody that's what they're there for, to play music. You can't have them fucking having no damn phone because you wanted to be cheaper than get a DJ. Food. People don't understand when you're doing events, seafood. I don't care vegan or not. People are real funny. So we are serving pork. A lot of people don't fuck with pork, especially if you got a certain race of friends. You know what I mean? You gotta have traditional food that people eat, an American type of menu. I don't care if them shits are little small veggie burgers or beef burgers. They could be little, what's those things? The little slides, right? You got to think on a level of cakes. What kind of cake? People don't like shit that's too sugary. All of these things could turn a person off if you don't have it in order. And this is why. My point is that this is why you see things that's not sticking and it's not working. This is why you see the array of hatred and people going through depression and I say people that are racist. People that are racist are depressed. That's why they're racist. They're not racist because they really hate. They're not. There's nothing happy to be about. There's nothing in their life to be happy about. Because if there was, they wouldn't be racist. People are not just racist because they don't like black people. People are racist because behind all of the damn monumental and the materialistic items you see that they have, none of that shit's doing nothing for them. And it doesn't. So when we say people are hurting, you kind of got to give them the pass because they're not going to tell you they're hurting. Nobody's going to admit that they're hurting, nor do they think they're hurting. Most people are going to be in denial that they're hurting, but they are. Everybody is. They are. They are. And the reason why I can say this because the days when I'm hurting, I see what I do. If you catch yourself in a position of telling somebody about how somebody fucked you over and then you catch yourself and say snap out of it like, oh shit, like I was hurting at that point. That's why I shared that story, right? But then you also got to think about the missions that people are getting into. When I'm at this party, my man's son is talking to me, following me around everywhere, and he's like 22 years old. Why? Because maybe I'm the only adult there that talks to him. So there was no more to pushing him away because he was attracted to the mode of me talking in that mode where his father and his son doesn't have the same relationship. People don't know how to talk. People are scared to create a conversation. Sometimes a conversation could create a vibe, and sometimes it can't. My man's sister, um, the vibe became a little low because then the abuse and her. She said she was being abused and how when she left, what was the point of you leaving your man? You know, when my son gave me a tissue one day when there was blood on my face, like there's no conversation I can really get into that. Like now that becomes a motor. Like how in the fuck does a pretty woman put herself in a position to be in front of a man that physically abuses him? You know, the amount of shit that I hear that comes to me, there's a different mode of with processes. And you know, whether it's like I said, if it's a motive that you're an avid shopper, or you're working in your backyard all the time, or you're cleaning your house when nobody's there, and or it's messy. Um, there's all different modes to show pain. So as much as you try to mask it, we can see it. It's evident. There's a picture here with Jim Jones's mother. Um, and she's here in this picture with this young kid that got out of jail, which is her boyfriend. Oh man, you know, it's sad to me where a woman of this age group can't even get a man in his 60s because the man in his 60s is so much pain. He wants a little girl. It's sad to me where a man this young has to date a woman that could be his mother, knowing that her son is closer to him in age. He's probably a little younger than Jim Jones. This impression gives people influence because it influences society because the woman is like, well, I'll go get me a little boy because now the old man wants a little girl. And now the old man is giving you a lie because he knows and I know in order to get a younger woman, she has to be extremely weak, extremely slow, and abnormal. No young woman should ever be with no old ass man. That's a problem. Even for her. Forget what he wants. I mean, we already know he's a pervert. No young, you shouldn't be 21 years old dating no man in his 50s, man. And if you are, it is evident that men in your age group is jacked up. You understand? So all of these things show you got to start reading and reading the temperature and the climate. You have to, it's like knowing the climate that is cold outside. You could look in the sky. You don't even need to go with the weatherman because the weatherman is going to give you their interpretation. You have eyes, thank God. Even if you don't, maybe you're blind. You can feel the weather. Some of y'all have bad bones where you can know that it's going to be a cold day or a damp day or it's going to rain because your aches and pains start up. Some of y'all just have a gift that you can look at the sky and know it's going to be a beautiful day. We don't really need a weatherman when you know how to read the temperature. So when it becomes a point of forgiving people, and having forgiveness, you have to forgive yourself to forgive people. You have to be forgiving of yourself to know the damage that you do as a person. Again, I'm not telling you to go out here and get a drink and get behind the wheel of a car and crash somebody. Again, that means you're in pain. Why would you do that, right? Why would you put yourself in a position to know that you're drinking hardcore, knowing that you're driving, to feel that you're going to be under the influence all to kill somebody, somebody else? It's not fair. But it's also a mode of us knowing that we have to be able to read the climate among others. Knowing when your mother is in pain when she says she's okay. Knowing when your father is in pain when he says, no, I'm good. Knowing when people tell you that they good, they're not. They are not. They're hurting. Oh, the world is crazy because people are hurting and people are looking for an out. And when you don't have an out that you could deliver, not in one day, at least give them a day, but you can't deliver it all, it's pointless. If you're going to go on a date with a man and you're not going to be able to have an out because it's not going to make you feel better, it's pointless. Vice versa for a man and woman. Doesn't matter. It's useless. If you as a woman, there's nothing to bring to the table other than a direction of something that you and this person could enjoy to take off the mode of our dirty mindset. You know what I mean? That's something you should be able to think that you could do. And I'm pretty sure you can do that because that's easy to do. A man, same thing. If there's nothing to offer this woman in the key mode of having a good time, I don't give a fuck if y'all going to the park to getting on the swing. You have to do something because what point of a person coming out your door? I don't care if they're coming in your house. What is the point? Sex is an activity, which is great. You may not want to do that. You may not know the person long enough, and you may feel that a person needs to be with you. Granted, you have that right, but also just remember, sex is an activity. And we're not giving no activities right now, and that's why people are suffering. People are suffering because there's no action. There's nothing happening. The same redundant social media we're being presented to us. And again, I'm asking this question on what people do, and nobody has given me an answer. We've been doing this for 51 minutes, and there's nothing here. But what do you do to have a good time in your life? This is bad, and it's really bad. This is why it's important for people to start trusting yourself to respond to people in the mode of forgiveness, understanding the mode that you know that more distant than we are as a family is pushing us away from society. That does more damage to society than the people, your friends. The more you cut people out of your lives, all of these things right now are deadly for the mindset. So again, what do you guys do to have a good time? What are you going to do today? Give me something. Other than shopping, other than cleaning up, what do you do to have a good time? I know if this question had been in the 1970s and 80s, y'all would have been partying all weekend and going from club to club to club. But now it's 2025 and nobody has nothing to do except look at influences damagingly affecting your lives in such a negative way. Whether you're old and you're looking at LL Cool J, whether you're an old woman or an old man, and looking at this fucking fool, or you're looking at Jim Jones' mother with dating kids, or you're watching who's failing, who's on stage, or you watch the versus battle. The versus battle was yesterday, so I didn't know that somebody actually put me on to that. But let's talk about this. Let's see what happened here. This is the problem with the versus battle that I had. I want to tell you the one problem. If there's any problem, this is the one problem I had with the versus battle. And let me share it.
Let's keep it going. Salute y'all. It's nothing but you know how we rock and shoot.
Already. Yes, sir. Hey, I just want to say one thing before we go, man. Free C Murder. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Soldier Slim. You know what I'm saying? Like, rest in peace, Magic. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Skull Tuggery, man. It's Uptown for life, man. New Orleans in the building, you dig?
You know, other than this silly shit with the gold teeth, I got to give credit to this versus battle. We need this. Versus got us through COVID, and they stopped it. That's painful when you give somebody something and you take it away. We're losing everything. We need the versus battle. Yeah, Cash Money said, fuck whatever. And Turk's whack ass didn't show up, or Wayne didn't show up. He got that right because that's hip hop. It's competitive. We do what we do. But the best part is watching these brothers come together. Both Because they never gave me the impression they got along. They both was from New Orleans, and they got on stage and let it be known this is not a versus, nigga. We from the same town.
504 to the mix show. You heard me, sir? I'll give a KLC and Manny Fresh make some noise.
One more thing, y'all. Let's hear one more thing. One more thing. We want to salute the bosses too, man. Birdman and Master P. Took it from here, man, and listen, we gonna keep it going. It's nothing but love for both sides, man. We won. Whole city won. The culture when we out this thing, man.
Big facts. Win, lose, or draw, man. Louisiana in the building. You heard me? Shout out to my homie Young City in the building.
Wow, this was big.
We don't ever do that. I do that.
We needed this. We needed this. This is good. This is really, really, really good. Because you know why? The one thing I loved is this should have never stopped. Because now we watching these whack-ass concerts that you got to go to. You don't have to go to this. Versus battles are created for people that are home. You don't have to physically be there. This shit is amazing. I loved it, but they stopped it. No disrespect to my man's party, I'd rather had literally sat home, sat in the bathroom, sat wherever I was to watch this on my laptop last night or a phone. I would have rather had watched this because they're going down memory lane, they playing songs, you seeing brothers that, BG was in jail the majority of the time they was out. This was a good look. Master P, Snoop Dogg, these are the celebrity things that's impressionable. Knowing that these niggas is a half a century old and they all together. People coming together is the vitamin to when you're hurting. Let me say that again. People coming together is the vitamin to when people are hurting. When you're hurting, you need to come together. That gets you through everything. Us as people. So when people are not inspired to come out and you give them something weak, they're not coming back to your shit. If half of the people showed up at the party and the other half didn't come, that half that was there, half of that's going to only show up next time. It's going to get smaller and smaller because you got to deliver. This is good for the soul. It's good to see. I've never seen Master P and Baby ever even talk to each other, nevertheless, do anything together. And after all these years, this was magical. Two black billionaires coming together with their groups, and they from the same city. They both from NO. They both from New Orleans. This is good. If we're going to do things on the internet, these are the things that could work and make you feel good. You could get up and clean the house listening to this versus battle because they're going to bring you back the hits, all the above. It's needed. But I want us to be a little more, critical to yourself. Maybe, because you're hurting. You're hurting. You just don't want to admit it. You just don't realize it, but it's evident. You are. You wouldn't be here if you wasn't hurting. You wouldn't be listening to anything that I'm talking about. Those people in that crowd, they were hurting before they walked up in there. You know what I mean? And now they felt good. I don't know if they filmed it. I heard they should have did it in New Orleans. They didn't do it in New Orleans, but whatever, the vibe. It was a vibe. Shout out to Shay Loves. Miss Top says, I literally just go outside, walk everywhere, parks, outdoor markets, karaoke's. I just be in the midst of people. Random people always start talking to me. Now, Miss Top just said something that most people do. Now, no disrespect to Miss Top. That's boring as hell. That's where we're at today. And again, this is no knock to her. What she just said is the common answer I get from everybody. I just go outside, walk everywhere, parks, outdoor markets, karaoke's, just be in the midst of people. Random people always start talking to me. Right. Because they're in pain. When I watch people at these genuine concerts, those are not concerts. We need verses. That's as far as I'm going with a concert in 2025 is verses. January said, "Hey, loves." Oh, shout out to January. So Karen says, "You're right, Nate. Everything is redundant." I'm telling you. If you're gonna have people at your house, again, and you got some, I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean, you got some food and you want to serve food, make sure it's food that people eat and enjoy. If you got a macaroni salad and you can't make a macaroni salad, go to Costco's and get a macaroni salad, pour that shit in a damn bowl and serve that. Don't make your own because your kids like it. Niggas, that will fuck a person's mood up. Potato salad. You could get good potato salad now at the store. Don't try to make that shit yourself and give people no garbage potato salad because they're never going to come back. I'm telling you, people need a hit. Ms. Thompson says, I live in DC, DMV area is boring. Right. And crazy, the DMV, that's not even an excuse because how in the fuck y'all got all those black people out there and all they doing out in the DMV area is walking out and random people gonna come up and start, you know what I mean? And this, again, I'm not clowning Miss Top. I'm just telling you, yeah, I don't care if I talk to somebody from Houston, Florida, the Midwest, or California, they all say the same thing. So y'all be moving to different areas for what? So Shay Love said, my last concert was Erykah Badu, and she had the audacity to be mean and late, and most concerts are overrated. They are. This is the way to do it. You got to watch the verses. I mean, they got to bring it back. Hopefully they stay consistent with this because we have an endless amount of artists that are living, and why not catch them while they're here rather than wait till it's too late? We're not going to see a versus battle with Michael Jackson and Prince, unfortunately. A real one, unless it's AI, but we need to see these authentic live versus battles. They're really, really good. Give me some more, people. Give me some more. Tell me what you do. The Real Lioness says, shout out to the Real Lioness. Ooh, I don't eat store-bought potato salad. It's my nature to cook. Now, let me tell you something, Real Lioness. I used to say the same thing. They change it now. You got to understand. These stores, they bring people like you in that make that shit. These stores now are not selling white people potato salad no more. They don't do that. When you see eggs in potato salad, trust me when I tell you, even Popeye's chicken, they're not serving mac and cheese no more. They're serving macaroni and cheese. They serving go to Popeyes and get some mac and cheese and see, some macaroni, order some macaroni and cheese and see what happens when you put your spoon in that shit. They don't do that no more. They know what's happening because these stores are reading the room. They know what to serve. They know that if it was 10 months ago, they don't serve that white people potato salad no more. All that, I don't eat other people's potato salad. Some people don't eat other people's potato salad. If you get the right potato salad from the store like BJ's or Costco, and you know potato salad like me, I could look at potato salad and tell you that shit's gonna taste good. I've tried it. I did it with ShopRite and I did it with Costco's. Trust me. You don't have to make potato salad now and hire somebody to cater food. You can get all your food from Costco and have a party. I don't even gotta cook no more. Everybody says, I absolutely loved, definitely got you through COVID. Yes, that shit got us through. Versus got us through COVID. Keep giving it to me, y'all. I need to tell me what y'all do. Because I'm not impressed. Right, Publix dressing potato salad cess was just as add turkey and main dish and good to go. I'm telling you. None of them stores are selling that garbage. I mean, listen, if they are, you got to remember, these big corporations have meetings. They want to talk to the soul sisters that make potato salad. They want to put their product on the store. Remember, these people are in business to make money. Why don't y'all create some shit and become an entrepreneur and make something to go into the store? You know what I mean? That's something to do. I don't think people got shit to do. That's why. Okay, so Real Lioness says, maybe I'll take a look. I'm going to the grocery store now. People out by me swear Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. Now, again, I haven't tried Trader Joe's. I haven't tried Whole Foods. But what I will tell you about potato salad now, these corporations, they're watching social media. And they know that there's a certain level of potato salad from black folks that just tastes better. Y'all got to start thinking, if you know potato salad and you just said it, let me give you a gem right now, because you probably, I'm going to give you a gem to be a millionaire. You just said that you don't eat store-bought potato salad. It's my nature to cook. You need to take that same mindset and say, maybe I should, no, not maybe. I think I'm going to make potato salad and try to patent this shit so I could put these shits in these damn stores. You need to make that as a goal, sister. At least that's something to do. You know what I mean? Like, that's fun. It's fun. It's fun creating something. It's fun becoming an entrepreneur, knowing you started some shit from your kitchen or your living room or your bedroom. Like, that's dope. Like, those are, at least it's something to do, but we're not doing anything. You know what I mean? Okay, so what she say? Oh, no. The set game says, don't know that Master P song, How You Do That really set off last night. I'm telling you, listen, and it was live. You got to watch this live. If you watch it on real time, it's even better. I missed it, though. My idea of fun currently where I'm at in life is to do or create things that bring me peace. That's boring as hell. No disrespect, Real Honest. I'm just saying, these are the same common answers that I get. It's the same. It's like the same pool of answers that I get. Say, if there's 5 answers, this is one of the 5. Okay. I don't mind going out to eat or to a bar club. Right, and that shit's played out. That's a hit or miss. And definitely a club, that's a miss all day. That's very boring, respectfully. You know what I mean? Okay, they hear another one. I already do have that goal as my life plans. Yes. You go into that goal to be more fun. I mean, that'll make life that you patent this. I would love to walk into Costco's to see and say, wow, I remember telling this sister, we was talking about her potato salad, and look, now I'm eating it. And I don't gotta go to your house to get it. I could go in Jersey and get that shit. Okay, Shay Love said, keep telling me, yo, what do y'all do? Please. Shay Love says, my idea of fun these days is anything in the nature outdoors. See what I mean? That shit is boring as hell. Anything in the nature outdoors. Can y'all tell me anything that got to do with people? Can y'all give me something that has to do with human interaction other than a club? I'm challenging y'all. Other than a club or a bar, being around a whole bunch of crazy strangers, can y'all give me something else? What do y'all do? Because people are hurting, and I need to give some medicine. The potato salad, food is always. But food's supposed to bring people together. But you can't bring people together and you got bland food. You can't do that. That kills the mood. It's nothing worse than don't having good taste in the food that you present. It's horrendous. Then you gotta watch, you can't eat this, the doctor. No. Like, for one day, I want to be able to say, damn, the food was amazing. You know what I mean? And mean it rather than not mean it. You know what I mean? Where we at with that? Let me see. Wow, this is terrible. All right, I'm gonna say this again. Can somebody, anybody, give me something that you do to have fun and have a good time in today's climate when people are hurting? Because if you can't give me answers, it's gonna explain the reason why the world is so fucked up, right? Okay, so the real line it says, poetry slams are fun. My sister is into that creative space. I've flown to Chicago to go to her show. I enjoy that. I love poetry, and I'm coming. Okay. The real lioness is a member here, and I cherish and love her. But poetry's shows are boring. Now, they used to be fun. In the 90s, that golden era, nothing like going to a poetry night. That shit was big like comedy nights. But now, so what does a man do in the poetry bar? He's gonna go to a poetry bar. If I'm gonna be bored because we've been there, done this already, so it's been done. Now the woman gotta look a certain way because I want some ass. You understand where I'm coming from? So like, what's popping in the poetry spot? Nate, they got these finger foods in there. They mad cheap and they lit. Nate, the drinks are ridiculous. The vibe in there, the girls are incredible. Why would that bring people out? You understand that? Give me something. But again, she says for herself, but I'm like, for yourself could be boring to somebody else, right? You know what I mean? Okay, so so Rihanna says your idea of fun is not going to look to others. I discovered this years ago we're different. It's not going to look for the same. No. You're not understanding what I'm saying, real lioness. I know what my idea. It's not what my idea of fun is. I'm saying what you're saying. Your fun is the same typical fun that people present that's not fun. So I want to hear something unique and different. And you're telling me things from 92, 95, 98, like we're talking today, in today's climate today. Now I want you to be clear this. I don't want it to be a mode of a battle. I'm really asking, because the only thing I heard here that was exciting was the potato salad. That potato salad that's your life right there. You need to run with that. You know what I mean? Because having that shit grow is going to be fun. You probably got potato salad that could be at these parties. We needed your potato salad last night. We needed that shit. According to what you're telling me, because maybe it's not that good. You know what I mean? I don't know. Okay, so my idea of fun, I'm not coming to the table as if I know all the answers. I'm trying to find the answers from the audience. So Kara says, on Friday night, expectantly, my girl invited me out to a nice spot with live music. I have a drink with aloe vera. It was nice since I haven't been out in years. All right. She went on there Friday night. How was you feeling Saturday? How was you feeling Sunday? What's next? Like, we've been there, done that. A Friday night now is not like a Friday night it was 30 years ago, because we're not in the golden era. So, respectfully, that's pretty boring, right? So, hold on. Shout out to Kara. So, realize it says, are considering age range when asking, thinking of this question? No, it does not play a role. No, it does not. These men on this versus stage in their 50s and 60s. Birdman got to be 60-year-old, okay? Now, we're not going to use the excuse of rich. No, we black people, we can relate. Age range does not play a part. Hip-hop music is a wide age range, okay? And technically, if we're talking about adults, that shit could be 21 and up. We listen to the same music. If you 60, 50, 40s, that's not an excuse. If anything, you want stuff where all people could enjoy. Because if you're looking at enjoying things in your 50s and think you're different than a person in your 40s, that's not true. But again, I'm with you. I'm asking the audience, I'm asking my members especially, give me something. Okay. So Real Honest says you're older, so you've experienced. No. You're losing the concept. I'm not saying if I had the answers, I would tell you. I'm asking you. So I'm trying to avoid this going back and forth in age and what's fun to you and accountability. You know what I mean? Real Honest. I need. How old are you? Are you 19? How old are you? How do you know if I'm older than you? You gotta. How old? I never said my age. I never mentioned my age on the internet in my life. So how old are you? Being that we're talking about age. So it says you've experienced a lot of things and able to back when times are better. No, I'm not. I'm not 70 years old. I haven't been around that long. The golden era is the golden era. The golden era. I'm trying to find out your age to find out were you alive during the golden era? Because let me see how old you are. Okay. So Shayla says an introvert's idea of fun may look like reading, watching a movie, solo travel, while someone outgoing may enjoy more socializing. No, it's just listen. And this is a good comment here. She said an introvert's idea of fun may look like no. Remember the title. People are hurting. So people that's hurting may want to read, may want to watch a movie, may want to solo travel. People that hurt need medicine, right? What are they getting out of that? They may enjoy socializing. It comes down to how you're wired. No, we all need socializing. It doesn't even have anything to do with an introvert because if a person's in pain, they need love. All right. Real Liner says you was born in the 90s. How old are you, though? I need to know how old you are. You could have been born in 1990 or 99. You know what I mean? I want to know how old you are because you got to give me an age. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find out were you part of the golden era. Maybe you caught a tidbit of it. Maybe you caught a big part of it. You tell me and I'll tell you when the golden era was and let's see the difference with ages. All right? Shout out to Carol. So shout out to Real Honest. It's all love here. Please, people, give me answers. Anything. Don't be afraid. I just need to hear something. The set game said, I'll be having movie nights at my place and invite my church fam and friends over. We have a great time. Now, how old is this set game? You got to be. How old are you, brother? Because you giving me like you got to be in your 70s. Hold on. I'll be having movie nights at my place and invite church fam and friends over. We have a great time. Wow. Y'all ain't doing shit. Only good thing that came out of that was you said your church fam. That's good. But once again, like movie nights with my church fam, movie nights with a young lady, movie nights by myself. Okay, hold on. Shout out to Ms. Top says, there's a ranch in Clinton, Maryland that I've been to. They offering evening horseback riding, barbecue. They have their own bar jukebox there. It's unique fun because it looks like it's unusual. That's cool, but that's not our culture. That's not us. That ain't us. It's different. You know, but that ain't gonna work. And that's in Maryland. Like niggas will go to it. You know this, Miss Top. People will go to Jamaica, people will go to Dominican Republic and ride a horse, but they won't go to Maryland and ride a horse. And that's crazy. And it's farmland all over the United States, especially in Maryland. But that was good. But it just ain't gonna work. Okay, so Sailor says, what about live football? Again, remember the title. People are hurting. Right? So when people are hurting, it's not gonna be, one night should change their whole lifestyle because now are they gonna be riding horses every week? Okay. What about the football sports game? It's usually a family orientated too. Football and sports game. Okay, so live football was saying. Live meaning you're going to the actual place. What about a person that's not in the sports? A lot of women don't do sports like that. A certain type of woman does sports. You know what I mean? A lot of men don't do sports. So is that the answer to somebody that's growing in pain that they need to go to more football and sport games? You know what I mean? Okay, Miss Top said, black people own a ranch, though. I'm just saying. No. Listen, you could own a million different things. Doesn't mean a straight man could own a gay club. Don't mean that he's going to attend it. You know, we need to give shout out to Trinity Time Travel. Trinity Time Travels, you a travel YouTube. You should give some answers. People are in pain and people are hurting. What do you bring for people to do that could change that? For example, versus battles got us through COVID. A lot of us. And then they stopped it, right? So this doesn't mean a thing that you do today. We're talking about how do we implement a lifestyle to make people happier? Because they're in pain, they're hurting. So how do we give the, you know what I mean? How do we give the medicine for that? I'm asking you, Trinity Time Travels, please. So again, it's not about the black people. We're not talking about what businesses people should do. I was just saying that with Shay, Real Life, she was talking about her thing with the potato salad. I'm like, hey, maybe your potato salad could add on to us. Maybe we need that, right? You know what I mean? Like your potato salad, not only getting it into all of these retailers, maybe your potato salad, I'll give you a good one, and no disrespect to my man's party. Your potato salad was needed last night. If you're saying your potato salad is the way it's supposed to be, we needed that, darling, last night. Right, so Shayla said, I think I get where Nate is going. Are you saying having supportive connections and family moments? I'm saying the world is, people are hurting out here, right? You got goofy celebrities taking off their shirt in their 70s. You got goofy celebrities dishing out all their business, dishing out all their tea, whatever you want to call it, because they're hurting. They're struggling with lifestyle. So being that they're trendsetters, they're not giving us nothing. We don't care about going to Cedric the Entertainer and Mike Epps restaurant. We know it's going to be expensive as shit. And we could only eat but so much after we go to Chicago, wherever it's at, eat the food and come back to New York. Then what the next day? Then what the next day? How do we need something different to give us something different, right? Okay, so the Zet game is 37. No, not you just said. No. Somebody said, no, not you, the set game. You're 37. No, that was the real Lioness. I'm asking the real Lioness, how old is the real Lioness? I want to know how old the real Lioness is. I don't, her. I want to know how old the real Lioness. How old are you? I need to know how old you are before I give you an answer. Trinity Trial says, by living, real change starts when we choose kindness, honesty, and peace. Oh, man, that shit is all boring. Oh, Trinity Charm, we heard this answer already like an hour ago. Like, we need something else, boo. We heard this. We heard this answer. We hear it every day, and that's not the answer. Shay Loves kind of has a close example of what I'm getting at. Okay, so let me try this again. People are in pain. Black people, white people, all people around the world. So we're slaves to social media, slaves to the internet. Clearly, that's because we're in pain. We're all in pain. I'm asking you being a travel foundation. No, I don't have an answer. I'm asking you. You have a travel a travel channel, all right? Trinity Time Travels, right? That's what you do on YouTube, right? I'm assuming you said Trinity Time Travels. So I'm asking you, in the method of you having your platform, your answer was, by living it, real change starts when we choose kindness, honesty, and peace every day. Not just talk about it. People follow what they feel, not what they told. What does that have to do with Trinity Time Travels? No, I'm asking you, darling. Listen, so everybody's taking things personal. You're taking things personal. Listen to me. I'm giving you another scenario once again. People are in pain, right? We have music in the 70s and 80s that got us through. It was soul music. That music still applies today. You have a travel platform. Is that what Trinity Time Travels mean? So I'm asking you, basically, what do you suggest people to do in this time of us hurting? And you having a travel platform, could you tell us a place to visit? Maybe there's something is a cool place to eat, cool places to venture out to. Maybe there's places to eat that could last a lifetime for the rest of the year. I don't know. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Let us pray. God, please give me the strength. Amen. Oh my God. Moving along. Yeah, you think my answer is boring? Duh. Of course it's boring. It's extremely boring. You just bored me with that answer. It's boring. And I know you're going to get mad because you're going to take it personal because I'm telling you the truth. Well, it's my truth. Well, okay, it's my truth. The world's truth. Who cares? But it's boring. That's it. That's the only thing. You got to give me the strength. I got to stick with it. So Shimmy says, I'm an introvert too, but I still need social interaction and growing up and fun. It just takes me a while to recharge. I have a college crew and we get together regularly for events. I'm 42. Okay, so Shimmy, you didn't even have to tell me your age. I appreciate you sharing that too. But the real lioness is the one I want to hear her age, because I want to find out how much of we're different in the part. I want to see if we're part of the same era. 42, we're part of the same era. So, yeah. All right, so I'm an introvert, but I still need the social interaction, grow up and fun. What is an introvert for people that don't know? I need you to, I don't want to say it. Tell the people what an introvert is so people can understand. Shout out to Shiri. Shayla says, accessible moments that are new and authentic, exciting. Nate, this is like a solving a puzzle. Because exactly. Okay, so she says, accessible moments that are new and authentic. Okay, like what? What? What moments that are new? We could have a moment that could be new and I could lost a loved one. You understand? Give me anything. I'm coming to you. I'm hurting. And I'm tired of doing the same old thing and I want to do something new and different, and I just don't feel that, and everybody else is hurting, so they're not able to give the proper answers. So I'm going to come to my audience to find out. Oh my God, Trinity Times Travels. See what I'm saying? You're taking things personal. You seem like you're in search for something I don't have the answer for. Don't take it personally. See, you're getting angry. You're getting angry. You can't even answer a simple question. Trinity Time Travels, right? What is your platform about? Traveling in time for Trinity? Like what? I'm asking you, darling. You're taking it personal. You don't want to. You're giving an attitude and you're taking it personal. And once again, you're proving my point. People are hurting, darling. I'm asking you. Your answer was boring. You asked it. You think it's boring? Yes, I do. You asked the question. I didn't just disrespect you. You said you think my answer is boring. Yes, I do. I do. What kind of creator are you? Right? Yeah, I know. I'm doing I don't have my mic here. I'm sorry, darling. I know it sucks when I do it this way. You seem like you're in search for it. You're taking it personal, darling. We can't talk like that. You taking it mute. Shay Loves, thank you for being a good sport, Shay Loves. Trinity Time Travels is getting mad. So music and sports are two things. I can see people really enjoying themselves. Right. But people are in pain. So coming together, the world needs love. We need soul. We need interaction. So what happens? You said music and sports are two things but the music today doesn't bring people together. All that music you see in the versus battle, all the stuff we see in this versus battle, these are old songs, right? And we feel it because that was a connection that we had in the golden era. All right, so, all right, hold on. Introvert. People who are draining to me, most people are draining to introverted means most people are draining to me. People are hurting, Shimmy. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to find out how Trinity, what kind of I never wanted your platform, right? So I want you to tell us, because people may want to follow you. So what is Trinity Time Travels about? You know what I mean? I'm just trying to find out. Most people are draining to me. Right. Okay. That's what an introverted is? Okay, so most people don't want to be bothered, so that's an introvert? Yo. Oh my God, yo. Shout out to yo, this shit is crazy. All right, so before I leave, because we didn't get anywhere, I'm gonna try this again. I gave you scenarios, there's an error going on. People are hurting right now. Oh wow, Master P and his son got back together. That's good. That's good. He's on stage and I just seen that. These people had a good time yesterday because we got to go back into the old to feel good about the current, right? So the question is, people are hurting. Can anybody give their impression on Additive on what to do in a world where people are hurting, and other than giving me clubs, hit or miss clubs, a restaurant, a walk down the street? Oh my. I don't mind being bored. Okay, but you're not telling us about your platform, so I got to give up on that. You know, hold on. I don't mind being boring. I mean, again, you asked me, was it boring? I said, yes, it is boring, darling. That's boring. You know what I mean? If you're boring on your own, that's cool, but people are hurting. We don't need people to be boring as an answer. That's boring. You know what I mean? We need to give something. The potato salad is all I got. But the real lioness, I don't know where the real lioness went. She said that I'm the old man here. I probably enjoyed all these things. It's a different time. And she said she was born in the 90s. So that means if you're born in the 90s, you're part of the golden era. So what is she talking about? How old do you think I am? Fucking 90? Hold on. Why is Trinity not going up? Trinity's not going to go up. She's not going to go up. Shayla says, y'all making introverts and sound antisocial and recluse. Yes, they do. That's exactly that's why I said I need somebody to give me it. Shout out to Andre. Andre said, nostalgia releases endorphins and life in general is boring. Ooh. This comment's going to go over a lot of people's heads. I'm probably going to have to end the live stream on this. Y'all couldn't give one fucking answer here. This is sad. I'm sorry, Concursion. Shout out to Anthony. Y'all couldn't give one answer. Nostalgia releases endorphins. He nailed it. And life in general is boring. Thank you. So again, the versus battle was nostalgia, right? That was nostalgia at its greatest because none of them made a new record. They haven't made a new record in 25 years, maybe 30. Andre just nailed it. That's why we love when we hear old school music and we see these versus battles. The question basically was, for people, we're hurting out here. People are hurting. I went to an event yesterday. They lost the crowd, right? They just couldn't grab it. They didn't have the right bartender. They had the right drinks, but they didn't have the right mixtures. They had food. They didn't have the right food. They had the concept for masquerade, but they had too many kids around. The environment was just way too homey. And I'm like, listen, I'm coming to y'all as, let's say we're all hurting. What could you suggest? What could you suggest to do? And nobody's bringing this answer. And we was getting these answers. Some people was getting offended because it's like, they're going to take it personal about what you think and what I think. And it's like, no. People are hurting. Fill in the blanks. People are hurting. What do you think could work? And again, please, without a poetry show, without a comedy show, you can't do poetry and comedy every day, right? We need an essence or a new mean of lifestyle. Now, apparently, a lot of people don't have this answer, but some people do. Okay, Anthony says, I'm not sure we need more public social togethers and interactions. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. And see that? You see what I mean? That's actually pretty good. We're not talking about walking and reading a book on a ferry boat. You know what I mean? People are hurting. So Anthony says, I'm not sure, but we need more public social get-togethers and interaction. That's a good answer. That's a good answer, Anthony, actually. That's actually a very good answer. That's a good answer. So the answer is reaching back into the past. No. He said nostalgia is not reaching back into the past. Not that way. We can't say the past is bad. Memories are good past, so we can't even use the word past. So we're not saying reaching back in the past. We're speaking in terms of, in this current boring life, what would you bring to tell people to do together? The hints was throwing the 70s, him throwing the 70s music. Yes, it was. Thank you. So I got the answer, but I just can't type that fast. Shout out to Anna Anderson. God damn. Good Lord, boy. I tell you, let me tell y'all something, sisters. And the brothers, y'all been doing great with this. When somebody tells you something is not good enough, don't take it personal. You can't present it and expect the person to agree with it. You know what I mean? If I tell you it's not good, it's not good. Don't. If it's good for somebody else, then let them judge that. But this is the conversation we're in. We had two answers and only men answered that. That's crazy. Not one woman got this answer correct. And even then, with Anthony, there's more to it than that, but that's the basis of it. It is the basis. So can this one woman that could give me an answer? And this is crazy because y'all dominate the B mindset, but you gotta give me something. I don't care if it's X-rated, give me something. Go there if you have to. Go there. People are hurting. What is the remedy? What is one remedy you could see right now to people? Cash Money and all these niggas got together last night. They had a reunion. That's powerful. As you get older, you appreciate it even more. The nostalgia aspect makes sense when I'm stressed out. I want to relax. I look at nostalgia, movies, music. Okay, cool. But again, do you do that every day? You know what I mean? Do you do that every weekend? Like, is that something to do every weekend? You know, this right here is what I'm talking about, right?
Fuck you, nigga. P, where you at, bruh? Say something so they know.
I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this because this is the stuff we hear on the internet, bro.
I ain't gonna say died, cause we lost a lot of soldiers, but cash money ain't built on you leave, you gonna still multiply.
Let's go.
Cash money ain't gonna never die. As long as I'm alive, hold on, friends. Wait, long as I'm alive, cash money ain't gonna never die. Shout out to my nigga NBA Youngboy, NBA Rich. Fuck who don't like it. We with all the bullshit. If you ain't with us, fuck you, nigga.
P, where you at, bruh? Say something so they know.
He said, "Y'all ain't with us, fuck you, nigga." I like that. Oh, shit. I like that. Okay. Shay, don't lose it though. Nostalgia releases endorphins. So don't go back until I'm stressed and I want to relax to look at nostalgia movies. Right. We all are stressed one way or another. We need more. So how does that get us out the house? Okay. Mustafa said, just stimulate your senses. We need to feel something. Damn, sisters. I can't believe. Okay, I got one answer. Y'all can't even get this right. Oh my God. I cannot believe it. Black woman, I'm really disappointed, y'all. All right, let's try this one more time. People are hurting. What do people need? Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. People are hurting. What do people need? We're not going to even get into the lifestyle. We're going to make this easy now. We're going to make this the meaning of life. What do people need right now if people are hurting? What do they need? How are y'all women that don't know this answer? This is terrible. How do two men get this shit and a woman don't get it? I'm very hurt right now. This is terrible. God damn. Wow, this is bad. Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for shedding light on this very hard topic for me to discuss, apparently it is. But please to give me the strength. Give me the strength to not give up and continue to embrace your mindset into me. Your spirit, because I know you need me as a messenger. Please give me the strength and please give the people the strength to see what I'm asking. Darling! Yes! What you got on your lips? What you eating? Okay. Bring me some candy. Yeah, man, they sat silently and took the prize. This is terrible, man. Let us pray again. Good Lord. People are hurting and nobody could fill in the blank. Nobody had a couple of brothers, one sister, Shay Love's touched on it a little bit. Y'all couldn't give the answer. You felt I was attacking you. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What is a man supposed to do if he meets a woman and y'all want to walk in the park and read a book? What is a woman supposed to do? What is a man supposed to do if he has a sister or a cousin and he's hurting. Don't bring it here for me, not you, because you want to eat more. Give me that. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, even the green vegan's having a hard time. Good Lord, black sisters. I can't give the answer. I'm waiting for it. I'm not going to give the answer. But if I give it, it defeats the purpose of the video. I have the main answer. I definitely do. It's very simple. It's not even that long. It's actually one word. Yeah, the man said silently took the prize. They did. Shout out to the two men. The men won this one. The men won this one. What you doing, darling?
I'm doing that.
Where was you at?
I'm dancing.
Want to dance? All right, hold on. Wait, no, don't move it yet. I'll do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Top Set Community. That's close, but not. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. I gotta put the music on for my little one. All right. I'm gonna ask this one more time. Right? People are hurting. People are doing bad. People are in pain. What is the remedy? My little girl's tough, boy. Give me that sock, dog. Give me the sock. Uh-oh, she turned it on. She know what to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Shimmy got the answer. Yes, daughter. Look at Shimmy. She got the answer. Wow. Reading books, macaroni salad. Damn.
This one. I want
Okay.
this one.
All right,
I
hold on.
want to dance.
You want to dance?
Where we go?
All right, y'all. Love you, Shimmy. I love y'all. I love everybody here, man. But please, don't just try not to take it personal. Don't feel it. You know what I mean? You take it personal, you're not going to be able to get. You can't receive love if you take it personal. But love is the answer. So I don't know if this is right between but me and more unconditional love and everything we do. Well, same answer that Shimmy said. But remember, I told it was one answer, so you still got it. You still won. So I love y'all. All right, peace, y'all. Peace. I'll be back.